We should be thinking of a united country, a peaceful country, not just a fragile nation. What will happen if southern politicians decide to also form the idea of uniting themselves and making a position that this is their stand? There will be no Nigeria. So they should, in the interests of the unity of the country and the future of the country, sacrifice their own personal ambition, at least for 2027, and the North will have the moral right to ask for power after the second term of this administration, or even if a Southerner has taken over power, even if it's not Tinubu.
A lot of ranting has been going on social media on the issue of Bola Ahmed Tinubu 2027 presidential, second term. It is a norm since 1999, since the return of democracy, that whoever becomes the president of Nigeria, happens to go in for a second term, except Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, who took over from Yar'Adua in 2009-2010, and of which he actually contested for the first time in 2011 against Muhammadu Buhari, where he won, and then he was sworn in as the president of Nigeria, of which he lost 2015 to Muhammadu Buhari, which we all know already. So the issue here is this: there is a movement currently, of which I talked about that in one of our last videos, about the move by some people in the northern region to unseat the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. This is not just to unseat him, but just to make sure that he never contests or even win the election in the first place in 2027. It's going to be very, very difficult, because when you look at the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he's one of these core politicians, of which in our next video I'm going to talk about something about Tinubu and cutting of deals and how he was able to become the governor of Lagos State, proud, after the prison terms and the exile during the military era and all of that. So if you stay with me on this channel, I'm going to be bringing all these details in our next video. But on this one, the plan to unseat Tinubu in 2027 will affect the Nigerian unity. And this is coming from Shehu Sani, the former senator representing Kaduna Central. And we know that there have been a lot of permutation for some time now. We have seen Atiku visiting Muhammadu Buhari in Katsina. We have seen some people visiting El-Rufai. We have seen them, trying to meet up with some stakeholders, IBB and the rest, talking about Atiku. So there is this projection that either Atiku or El-Rufai is being projected by the northern elites to make sure that in 2027 the power is being taken away from the southern. And there is this perspective of thinking because of what happened to Musa Yar'Adua between 2007-2009, where he was not able to complete his second term in office. That conversation is still there, where many Nigerians, especially from the northern extraction, believe that they have a 4-year term pending, So this conversation will not end soon. And let's not forget that we have a South-South president who had a first term, which was 2011 to 2015. So if we are to go by that conversation, that means Goodluck Ebele Jonathan is still having some years to complete in his own term. And these are the issues, and that is the reason why Nigeria is not moving forward, because we tend to be talking about the political, yearly elections and forgetting about the issues that are bothering Nigerians and Nigeria as a nation as of today. Let's not forget that the protest that is going on in Kenya is as a result of numerous loans collected by the Kenyan government in the past, before William Ruto came on board, and even after he came on board, and which were looted by politicians that have necessitated this current government to do what they are trying to do, which has plunged the country into chaos. But that is our bone of contention this morning. So therefore, according to Shehu Sani, he said,
is that there is evidence of rallying of forces, regrouping of forces, political forces from the north, are trying to use former President Buhari as a rallying point in order to evict the government of Asuwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu. And they hope to resurrect his political charms in the hearts of the masses and portray the government as one that has been undermining the North and one that has not been living up to its campaign promises to the region, being that it has the highest votes from there. And I must warn that attempt to do that can create a serious problem for our country. Buhari has been in power for 8 years, and there has never been any serious Southerner who challenged his own government in terms of trying to remove him out of office. And secondly, we should know that before you think of power, you should think of a whole country. We should be thinking of a united country, a peaceful country, not just a fragile nation.
Sani, in an interview with Arise News yesterday, says he also advised the northern elders to, instead of trying to gain more political power, plug into the policy and programs of the Tinubu administration that would benefit the North, which had been gripping with security and poverty, among other problems.
So that is my own point, that this desperation for power will not augur well for the region and for the unity and collective peace of our country as a nation. And that they should know that they had the opportunity to address all the problems of the region, which they failed. The North wasted 8 years in power and did nothing for the region, did nothing for its people, and left the region worse than it met it in 2015. So that is the point which I have raised. This is not the time. We should key into policies and programs that will benefit our own people.
I have talked about this severally. I have seen, video clips. I've seen some Northern Elders Forum, leaders. I've seen one Professor Usman, has been, doing some media tours and all of that, showing pictures of children that are malnutrited in the northern region of the country and across Nigeria and all of that. But let's not forget, Tinubu is just 1 year in office, and Buhari was in office for the past 8 years. This is not to defend this current administration, but this government has just been in office for 1 year. So let's not do any emotional blackmail here. If this conversation was to happen at all, it should have been during Buhari's administration. But that does not mean we shouldn't hold the governments currently accountable, because governance is about continuity. After all, Tinubu said he was going to continue from where Buhari started. So Buhari actually bastardized the economy of Nigeria, which we all know, and now Tinubu is actually following the same footsteps. And so nobody should be surprised at what is actually happening in the country as of today. But the truth of the matter remains that some of this rally round that is going on, you see Atiku, you see Rufai, here and there is some kind of surge, going on in the northern region. Many Nigerians are already saying that it is time for this country to divide. Just separate the country into 4 and let every region just go. We have had a conversation on regional governments, and we have seen people from the north criticize and say, no, we can't have regional government. Rather, let's have institutions that work. Let's have restructurings and all of that, and from there we can now go further. The truth of the matter here, when you look at the whole of this permutation and these opinions coming from left, right and center, from the northern people and all of that, is that we all want a better Nigeria. And if we're still going to keep Nigeria as one, then I think the best thing to do is to even have that regional system of government. And the current government is not going to benefit from it if they are going to enact it. Yes, in that way, then we're going to have progress. And having a regional system of government, in another hand, with this group of politicians, nothing will still work. So the truth of the whole matter is that until we purge ourselves of corruption and at least remove those people who are actually governing Nigeria as of today, outside that, no future, nothing. The country will still remain where it is. What do you think? Let's have this conversation, and please, let's try to be polite in the comment section. Thank you for watching.